Answer this question. Why are you trying to map out the entire 9 innings of the game? Why don't you just throw the first pitch? Michael McLean, brassballsvideos.com. I am an ex-professional hockey coach, amateur championship hockey coach, turned 8-figure entrepreneur. You can download a copy of my brand new book for free at Brass Balls Videos below. The link is right below. Print it off, study it. It's only 22 pages. No fluff, no theory, no BS. The title of the book, 5 Ways to Unfuck Your Life in the Next 30 Days. If you're like me and you have to get your shit together from time to time, this is the book that can help you do it. Download, put in your email. I'll send you the book by email within 5 minutes. brassballsvideos.com. I have worked with thousands of business owners, entrepreneurs, elite pro athletes, elite blue chip athletes. And I have to tell you, after 22 years as a coach, as a consultant, as a teacher, the biggest obstacle for most men, for most husbands, fathers, entrepreneurs, young athletes, community service leaders, volunteers, the number one obstacle is they're trying to play the entire 9 innings, the entire baseball game. They think about it. It's analysis that equals paralysis. They scare the living wits out of themselves subconsciously. Consciously, they're too big for their britches. Oh my God, how could I ever start writing a book? Oh my God, how could I write a daily email? Oh my God, how could I get to the gym? Oh my God, literally scaring the life out of themselves. Trying to play 9 innings instead of just throwing the first pitch. Here's what happens in your life, whether it's your business life or your professional life. When you just focus on throwing that first pitch, it's amazing how powerful momentum can become. You can never underestimate how small, tiny, little daily habits, rituals, routines, goals, whatever the hell you want to call them. Momentum is one of the most underrated forces on earth. And people that are struggling, they have no momentum because they never throw the first pitch. They're worried about 9 innings when all they have to do is toss the first pitch and get the game going. Then we can adjust, we can pivot, we can change directions, we can do what we need to do, but at least we got started. My grandfather used to say, it is the start that stops most, Michael. It is the start that stops most. So, paralysis by analysis. Well, I gotta do this, I gotta write for an hour a day. No, you don't. Write for 5 minutes. Start writing for 5 minutes a day. Well, Michael, I'd like to start walking like you do, 10,000, 15,000 steps. I'm gonna set my alarm tomorrow morning and walk an hour every day. No, you're not. Set a goal of walking, putting on your shoes tomorrow, pushing the door open, and walking for 5 minutes. If you feel like 5 minutes isn't enough, keep walking for 10. If you're feeling good after 10, walk for 15. Throw the first pitch. Put on your shoes. Throw the first pitch. Open up your laptop and write 1 paragraph. Michael, I'd love to read books, and Operation Operation Money Suck and Sharpening the Axe. I'd love to read every day like you do for 1 to up to 5 hours. Forget about it. Set a goal that you're going to throw the first pitch. Tomorrow, I'm going to read 2 pages of a book, a physical book. None of this low IQ iPad stuff. A physical book. Set it out the night before. And then you pour yourself a nice cup of coffee. You go sit by the pool or sit out in the backyard, get out in nature and read for 10 minutes or read 3-4 pages. Whatever it takes, throw the first pitch. Throw the first pitch tomorrow. Whether it's walking, whether it's copywriting, whether it's reading, throw the first pitch. Michael, I really like that message of starting the day with 2 glasses of water. Well, there's a reason you want to start your day with 2 glasses of water. First of all, when we rise after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, you're breaking a fast. That's why it's called breakfast. You're breaking a fast. So your body has been cleansing while you're sleeping. So when you wake up after 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep, that's the most toxic that your body's going to be all day. So how do you want to break that toxic fast? Do you want to give your kidneys, your bowels, your prefrontal cortex, your brain, do you want to give them a chance to detox, to get all the poisons out of your world? Or do you want to start pumping caffeine and coffee and diet soda and energy drinks and sugar drinks? Are you kidding me? When you get up, you have 2 glasses of water that you put out the night before, you throw the first pitch, you drink those 2 glasses of water, and then you do whatever you want. But at least you've given your kidneys, your bowels, your brain, your organs, it clears the brain fog, and it gives your body and mind a chance to detox the poisons. Stop digging your own grave. Stop being the reason that you're not winning and throw the first pitch. Put out 2 glasses of filtered water before you go to bed like I do every night. Get up and drink them. For God's sakes, you can drink 2 glasses of water. But always adhere to the mindset of a champion. Tomorrow starts today. So at 9:30 tonight, 10 p.m., I put out my 2 glasses of water. Winning tomorrow starts today. Same thing with my shoes. I don't go stumbling around looking for my shoes and my t-shirt and my ball cap in the darkness of the morning. I lay out my shoes, I lay out my socks, I lay out my jacket, I lay out whatever I need. Winning tomorrow starts today. Same thing with reading. I'm not stumbling around in the dark, waking up my daughter and my wife looking for something. Oh, what am I going to read? Stop being a Bush League amateur. Lay out the night before the newsletter, the new book, whatever it is that you're going to read. And when you get up, it's just automatic. You can throw the first pitch. Same thing when it comes to copywriting. Oh, Michael, I'd love to write an email a day. I'd love to get started on that book of mine. Throw the first pitch. The way you throw the first pitch is tonight at 9 o'clock, print off one sheet of paper, charge up your laptop or your PC, put the piece of paper on top of the laptop, and when it's time to write in the morning, before you check your phone, before you do all this other nonsense, you push open the laptop and you write about that one thing. Maybe it's 10 minutes, it's an email, maybe it's a blog post, maybe it's an article, maybe it's a script, whatever it is that brings you money. But for God's sakes, throw the first pitch. And remember, instead of looking around in the dark, make sure that you understand that winning tomorrow starts today. I get up and I trip over my success. I get up and I trip over the things I have to do. And I stack the wins because of it. This morning I didn't want to get up. I had a training to do. I didn't sleep that great. It was one of those days where my feelings and emotions, if I listened to them like a little 10-year-old child, I would have crawled back in bed and hid under the covers in the fetal position. But I'm not a 10-year-old child. I'm a grown-ass man. And a grown-ass man is not affected and is not influenced by his feelings or by his emotions. You know who's emotionally drunk? You know who's emotionally drunk? Spoiled, rotten athletes, emotionally drunk. Spoiled, rotten politicians, emotionally drunk. Spoiled, rotten people, emotionally drunk. Spoiled, rotten children, emotionally drunk. The hell does emotionally drunk mean? As I taught my athletes for 22 years, you can be as drunk from emotion as you can be from alcohol, drugs, you name it. A real man, a real king, a real badass is in control of his thoughts, his feelings, and his emotions. How I felt this morning had nothing to do with whether I got up. What I felt this morning, like shit, had nothing to do with getting my feet on the floor. And my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions, if I would have sat there for a while, I'd still be in bed. But instead, as a grown man, I am influenced and I'm conditioned and I'm controlled by what? My goals in life, my values, what I value, and my principles. Every man has principles, every man has values, every man has goals. So when I'm lying there at 5:30 in the darkness, I ask myself, will sleeping in, staying in bed, help me achieve my goal, my values, and my principles? Is this aligned? Immediately, hell no. It's an absolute hell no. So I put my feet on the floor and I get to work. Now, if it was thoughts and feelings and emotions, I would be still lying there. Well, I deserve to sleep in. I've worked hard. I'm semi-retired. It's been really difficult here. The weather's been hard. The weather's been hot and I haven't, oh my God. Pathetic surrender. You need to be ruled by your goal, your values, and your principles. If your number one value is health, that rules your decisions. You get up, you walk, you drink water, you get to the gym, you get outside in nature. If you're ruled with serving other people and putting out content, you get your feet on the floor and you get up and you write for 10 minutes or you write for half an hour, or you send out an email or you shoot a video. Because one of your values and principles is serving other people. So get rid of the weak ass emotions and feelings. You're not a 10-year-old child. And then when you're ruled by your goals, what's your number one goal? What are your top 4 values? My number one value is personal sovereignty. That's basically autonomy. That's basically freedom and control all wrapped up together. I want to live life and do business on my own terms. So that's one of my top values. I only have 1 or 2 goals at the time. And then, of course, I have my personal mission. Any man or woman that's struggling with lack of energy, depression, anxiety, worry, all this other stuff, they're lacking purpose. And what is purpose? Purpose is a burning desire, a mission. So my question to you is, what's your mission? What mission are you presently on? If I'm Nick Saban a couple years ago and I'm coaching the Alabama Crimson Tide, my mission is to develop these young men into great people and win a national championship. If I'm coaching the New York Knicks, my mission is to eventually develop that franchise into a world champion again. Be very clear, you need a mission. And Men that struggle with purpose, distraction, addiction, the one thing they're missing is purpose and a mission. When you meet a man who's on a mission, whether it's at the ball game, at church, whether you meet them at the library, you meet them at a restaurant, you can sense a man that's on a mission. Literally goosebumps, literally chills, because they're the type of person who cannot not talk about their mission. If you run into me at a family reunion, or you run into me at a mastermind, literally, I cannot not talk about my latest mission. And my latest mission is, in the next decade, to help serve 1 million men, entrepreneurs, build the life of their dreams, to help you live life and do business on your own terms. That's my mission. I've had many missions through my life. To be the #1 insurance agent on planet Earth. Mission. To win a Barclay Cup hockey championship. Mission. To be the world's most present father. Mission. To get in the best physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional shape of my life. Mission. To start a barber shop from scratch and to have it #1 in the country. 6 years straight. Mission. And everywhere I went, it would just bleed out of me. My DNA. It wasn't what I was doing. It was who I was. I wasn't a hockey coach. It's who I was. I didn't just coach hockey. It's who I was. I wasn't just in the insurance business. I wasn't just an insurance agent. It was who I was. And now that I'm a coach and a consultant to entrepreneurs and business owners, this is not what I do. This is not what I do. It's like a Navy SEAL mentality where this is who I am. When I'm sitting at the kitchen table with my wife and my daughter, I can't help not talk about it. They roll their eyes. They're like, oh my God, I cannot not talk about it. It's right there. It's right there. You open me up, and it's right there. That's the way it was with hockey. That's the way it was entrepreneurship. That's the way it is with consulting. And there's no other life to live. All this weakness and all this, I'm not motivated, I'm not driven, and I'm distracted, and I can't write an email, and I can't walk. Holy fuck, what's your purpose? Get a purpose. Get one goal. Ask yourself, what are my 2 top values? And then get a mission. What's the mission? And I was doing a training today with my email millions guys and gals, and one of the questions I asked on the training was, what's your mission? And 90% of the guys and gals, and this is why they struggle getting to a top 1% level, is 9 out of 10 talked about a mission that was about who? Who do you think their mission was about? It was about themselves. That's not a mission. That's not a mission. The good Lord, your creator, your God, the universe, whatever you believe in, they didn't give you the opportunity to live at the best time in history, 2024, with unlimited wealth, unlimited opportunity, unlimited abundance, so that you could do something for me. Me. My life transformed from 5% to top 1% when I found a mission that was larger than me. Everything became about serving other people. The great late Zig Ziglar used to say, if you want to become a millionaire, help a whole bunch of other people become a millionaire first, and you'll automatically be magnetic to money, success, abundance, and you'll be a multi-millionaire. And my mother, who's 90 years young, says that all the time. She always talks about abundance. If you help enough people, Michael, help them achieve their goals, which I'm living now, she says, the rest of it will take care of itself. You will become magnetic to money, success, independence, freedom, whatever. But it starts like the Rotary Club. When I was president of the Rotary Club, service before self. 9 out of 10 people today on that training, their mission was about themselves. And they wonder why they struggle with motivation or depression or anxiety or stress or lack of results. Service before self. Rotary has it. They have it down. Service before self. So you got to learn to throw the first pitch. You got to say to yourself, any change you're going to make in your life, it's going to start super small. Super small. You know, I'm talking to my 11-year-old. She's on pace in the last 6 months to make herself $3,000 cash American. That's like 50 grand Canadian. I'm only half joking. She's got a dog walking company and she's got a dog sitting company here in the greatest land of opportunity, America. And she's literally been stuffing $20 bills, $10 bills, $50 bills into her bookcase. And she's 11 years old and she's got a podcast. And what she's doing is, I said to her the other day, I said, how much money you got stuffed under your pillow, in your bookcase, under your mattress? And she said, oh, I've got more than $2,000. And she's walking dogs, she's sitting dogs, she's doing it all. And I've talked to her many times about how it's about serving other people. Make sure that when you walk these dogs, you understand that you're in the service business. You're helping these people. You're saving them time. She knows already she's not in the dog walking business. She's in the time saving business. When somebody hires her for $10 or $20 or $50, the reason that she's walking the dog is because those people don't have time. So I said to her, always remember what business you're in. But I have to give her credit for throwing the first pitch. She got it going 3 years ago when we came here during the lockdowns. And it was so slow and it was so frustrating. We'd do all these flyers, you know, she'd get 1 or 2 people, and it was frustrating. And I kept saying to her, she was 9 at the time, you can do hard things. And anything worth doing, like Grandpa said, there's no shortcut to anywhere worth going. And that's hard to sell to a 9-year-old, but I have to give her credit for stick-to-itness. She kept handing out the flyers, she kept showing up, and 1 client became 2 clients, became 3 clients. She made a couple $100 3 years ago. Then last year, she made a few $100 just chipping away, throwing the first pitch, throwing the first pitch, throwing the first pitch. And then, like in any business or anything else you want to change in your life, she hit a tipping point this year. And you don't even see it. She just kept showing up. She kept showing up. She kept showing up. And all of a sudden, people are calling. They want her to look after the dog overnight. They want her to look after these or walk these dogs, all this stuff. And it's all because she threw that first pitch. And I keep emphasizing to her, you know, it's the small little daily actions that matter when you throw these little pitches. And one of the things I wrote down here, and I wanted to write it down so I remembered it. If you have young children or you have teenagers or grandchildren, here's something you need to talk to them about, is the daily habits are the absolute secret to success. If you can show up and you can stack the wins every day, it's incredible how much you can compound with what I call violent consistency. I don't have any talents. I don't have any special abilities. I don't see myself as any better than anybody else. But I show up and I don't miss. You miss, I don't miss. And I walk every day and I read every day and I copyright every day and I drink water every day and I date my wife every day and I invest time with my daughter and I don't miss. Violent consistency. I throw the first pitch every single day. I'm not worried about the 6th inning or the 7th inning or the 9th inning. I'm just a guy who throws that first pitch. But you can never, ever underestimate what tiny compounding of little things will do for your life, not to mention your children's life and your queen's life. I was talking about this the other day, and I wrote it down because I said to my daughter, I said, you know, it's okay. It's great to be making this money. It's great that you're finally, you know, making some bucks. And I said, but you know, when it comes to saving, I said, and this is big, I said, if you save $8 a day, just $8 a day, anybody can do that. You can do that. Your teenagers can do that. If you save just $8 a day, and I'm teaching her compounding, I'm teaching her violent consistency. I go, how much is that a year? And of course, she's a, you know, strong men don't tremble when she does math like me. She's like, that's $3,000 plus. $8 a day. That's a couple of energy drinks. I said $8 a day. Anybody saves $8 a day. That's $3,000 in cash a year. That shows you the power of violent consistency, of stacking the wins. $8 equals over $3,000 a year. How many people you think have an extra $3,000 cash in an account? Let me answer your question. Not many. Do you know, and I talk about guys, oh, Michael, I'm going to read books like you. No, you're not. I didn't read books like me. Start with 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. I mean, any cupcake can do that. Pour yourself a coffee, open up the book and read. 20 pages a day, 20 pages of a real book or newsletter a day, 30 books a year. My daughter reads over 50 books a year. My wife reads over 50 books a year. I read over and reread over 50 books. Oh my God, you guys must be voracious readers. You must have an insatiable appetite. I'm like, not really. We get up every day and we read 20 pages minimum. That alone is 30 books. Did you read 30 books last year? Did you read one book? Do you know the average American and Canadian now from high school doesn't read one book until they die, till they drop dead? Not one single book. 20 pages a day, every day, don't miss. Violent consistency is 30 books. Do you think reading 30 books a year would make your life different? Do you think it would make your queen's life different? Do you think it would make your children's life different? Leaders or readers? Oh, we're getting to the walking. Oh, I can walk like Michael. You know, he was a fat insurance guy when he started walking 20 some years ago. But man, I can walk an hour a day, 70 minutes a day. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you do 10,000 steps a day, not even walking, you can do 5,000, 7,000, walk for half an hour. Walk for half an hour, get your steps in first thing, stay on your feet the rest of the day, walk when you can, park away from the church, park away from the arena, park away from the shopping center, and you get in 10,000 steps a day. That's just being mobile. It's not like you're setting any records. 10,000 steps a day, violent consistency equals... You sitting down? Hopefully not. I need you standing up, not sitting down. 70 marathons a year. 70 marathons a year. So I have walked close to 100 marathons this last calendar year. I'm better than I thought. I'm a ham and egger. I'm a fourth line grinder who has walked 90 to 100 marathons by showing up every day when you miss, when you don't show up, when you make excuses. And I read 30 plus books, 20 pages a day. I ran 90 marathons, maybe 100, walking 10,000 steps, that's an hour. And I mean, what more can be said? What more can be said? There are a handful of examples of just the massive, massive power of simple daily habits. You want one more? Operation Money Suck. So you could sit down and you could write for 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day. That's it. Fuck around the rest of the day, whatever it is you do. And at the end of the year, by writing one email or one paragraph, 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, you literally could send 365 emails every single day, or you could make a social media post every single day of the year. And if you did those things in your 10 minutes, your 15 minutes, it's a book when you're done. So all those emails, all those articles, all of that is a book. 10 minutes a day writing is a book every year. It's more than a book. It's more than a book. If you write every day for 10 minutes, I don't care if you write 300 words or you write 200 words, you got a book at the end of the year. But here's the thing that's stopping you cold. Dead nuts cold. You can't throw the first pitch. You're too afraid to throw the first pitch because you think that your brother-in-law won't like it, your wife won't like it, your employees won't like it, your sister won't like it, your prospects and clients won't like it. You're not afraid to lose. You're afraid to win. I learned this in 22 years of coaching, pro, minor pro, the best amateur kids the country has, blue chippers across. People aren't afraid to lose. The people that can't throw the first pitch are afraid of winning. Subconsciously and consciously, you're afraid. What happens if it does work? What happens if everything I'm saying starts to slowly and gradually happen in your life? What if you separate yourself from the bloody herd? What happens if you stop living a life of quiet desperation? What happens if you get in great shape? What if people notice you look 10 years younger? What happens if you end up with $100,000 in your bank account? What happens if you can end up flying private, or your business explodes, or your marriage is on fire, or your kids, your connection with, what happens? That's the conscious and subconscious. You're not afraid of losing. I figured you out. You're afraid of winning. You're afraid of what it's going to be like at the top if you start doing these tiny little things. If you throw the first pitch, what happens if it ends up a grand slam? You got to explain to those people, right? You have to explain to your brother-in-law and your sister-in-law and your mom and your dad and your fucko friends. You have to explain that there must have been a way you cheated your way here. You must have got lucky. And that's why you don't throw the first pitch. So I used to think like this. I used to be where you were. And I just decided that I have one life to live. And that when I was done with this human life, and I don't give a shit whether you're a spiritual person, a religious person, I don't care. But I have a sneaking suspicion that when my time is over, whether it's later today or 20 years or 30 years from now or 40 years from now, I think I'm going to meet my maker. And I think that he's going to be waiting for me and he's going to say, all right, Michael, I gave you unlimited wealth, unlimited opportunity, unlimited abundance. You were born into the two greatest countries in the world. You won the lottery with your parents. You have entrepreneurship in your genes. What did you do? And I would say, well, I made $153 million in sales and I hire. Who did you serve? And that's the part of my life I'm working on right now. Is my mission now is bigger than myself, because I can't answer that question right. I can't answer that question to his standard. I need to be able to say, listen, Listen, I served 1 million men. I helped 1 million men build the world of their dreams. Anything less than that is morally inexcusable. The most patriotic, the most noble, and the most moral thing I can do is serve other people through a mission that's bigger than me. That's it. I'm the opposite of everybody else. There's no me, 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 me. I'm about service, 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 service. Zig Ziglar, 101. Help enough people get what they want, and you'll always get what you want. Service before self. But you got to throw the first pitch. You can't be afraid of losing, and you cannot be afraid of winning. So I hope you understand what I'm preaching and teaching here. Forget about the 9 innings. Forget about the 3rd inning. Forget about the 6th inning. And today, before the sun sets, throw the fucking first pitch. We're all in the dugout. We're all waiting. You've talked a good game. Now let's start playing a good game. And when you throw the first pitch, going to be lots of failures, lots of embarrassments, lots of humiliations. That's my life. But you know what? You're going to get momentum on your side. And you're going to get those tiny wins. The $8 a day equals $3,000. The 20 pages equals 30 books. The 10,000 steps a day equals 70 marathons. And then a year from now, people are going to look around, and you're going to look around, and you won't even recognize who you are or the world you live in, and you'll remember the day you finally sacked up and threw the first pitch. You can't read 30 books and 20 pitches a day unless you throw the first pitch. You can't save $3,000 a year, $8 a day, unless you throw the first pitch. And you can't write a book. You can't do any of it. You can't lose the weight. You can't date your wife. You can't do any of the important stuff until you throw the first pitch. So that's all I have for you today. Focusing on the first pitch, and forget about the 9 innings. Focus on the simple details. Stop scaring the life out of yourself with these big, glorious goals, and set goals that, hey, I'm going to put my shoes on tomorrow. I'm going to open up my laptop. I'm going to drink a couple glasses of water and see where that takes you. Throwing that first pitch and then putting momentum on your side. You can download a free copy of my book. I'm going to keep it up for a few more days. 5 ways to unfuck your life. These are the 5 ways that I use to get my shit together several times in my life. And unless you're perfect, we all need to get our shit together from time to time. This is a free book that'll help you do it. Don't be one of these punch-drunk tomato cans. Put your email in. I'll email you the book within 5 minutes. Print it off. Don't be a low IQ dummy. Print it off, study it, highlight it, read it 2 or 3 times. Do 1 or 2 of the 5 things. Share it with your queen. Share it with your adult children. Share it with anybody in your life that needs to get their act together. Pass it on, pay it forward, and that's it. That's it. All I need is your email at brassballsvideo.com. As soon as I get your email, I will email you a free copy of the book within 5 minutes. Like my dad said the other night on the phone, hang in there. I believe in you. This is the greatest time in history to be alive. It's not even close. We are living in a world of abundance, opportunity, and wealth beyond anything we ever imagined. And it's up to us to stay focused on what's important. Go home tonight, hug your wife, hug your children. The people that matter most, they'll feel better, you'll feel better. And keep telling yourself over and over again, you can do this. You can throw the first pitch. You can do this. And keep this in your mind. The best is yet to come. The only thing better than 2024 will be 2025. And that is my biased opinion, because I'm living this life with you. BrassBallsVideos.com. 2 words that changed my life. Hang in there, brother. And 2 words that can change yours. Be relentless.